Hi guys, welcome back. It's UK here. I've just got in from tonight's Pathfinder game and just seen this video by Samuel G. The top 5 usual mistakes a new GM does. So I thought I would do this quick vid. In no particular order, and bear in mind these are my personal thoughts on this, so you know I appreciate that not everyone's going to agree. So in no particular order. 1. Newbie GMs often don't know how to say no. You know what I mean, and even experienced GMs don't learn to say no. This is a case of if you see something that you don't want in your game, whether it's a specific class, skill set, profession, feats, traits, whatever, or you think something's going to be too good, then say no. Don't take the risk when you're starting out. Some things might not fit your game world, whatever. So be receptive to the players. Maybe make a deal that you're concerned, and if it turns out to be that way, perhaps you'll swap things out a session or two in. But be prepared to say no, and don't be afraid to say no. Secondly, read your scenario. Know your scenario, even if it's one you've written yourself as opposed to a published book or scenario, whatever. Read it, reread it, make sure you know what it's doing, where it's going, make sure you know the motivations of characters, even if they're not going to appear for more than a scene. I mean, know what you need to know what you're doing. You need to know where the scenario goes, you need to know timing, Thirdly, preparation. Know the rules, at least the basics. Don't read the rule book once and then assume you know the game. Make sure that you know the system. If you have to stop partway through a session, to double check something, then do it. Hell, I've been role playing, GMing for like almost 25 years, and I still will come to points where I will say, we just need to check this up, and we'll look it up and we'll get on with it, because someone at that table will remember it, because it's normally something that a player wants to do. So yes, make sure you've got everything. Make sure you've prepared it in advance. I'm guilty of this. There are times I'll get to 15 minutes before the game, or 15 minutes before I'm going to be picked up to be taken to the game, and I will suddenly go, shit, I haven't got my stuff ready. Be prepared. Make sure everything's in its place. You've got your dice, you've got your pencils, you've got your books, you've got your GM screen, whatever. 4th, newbie mistakes, or mistakes, newbie GM mistake. Don't be afraid to try something different. The rules of any RPG are not set in stone. This is something that bugs me with rules lawyers and some GMs, but I know not every book says this, but it should be at the front of every role-playing game in big, bold block capitals. The rules within, what is contained within this book is guidelines. If you have a situation and you think that a certain target number is too high, but to drop it down, to what the next suggested level is too easy, then decide to put it in the middle. If you feel that the players don't need to make a certain roll to kick in the door, then just let them kick in the door. If you feel that you need to make something slightly more harder, something more powerful, whether it's monsters, traps or whatever, as long as you're not doing it to screw the characters over, then go for it. They are guidelines, and bear that in mind. You want the game to flow as easily as you can make it. As for a 5th, how to put this? Do not be a slave. This kind of goes with number 4 actually, but do not be a slave to the dice rolls. I don't mean in combat or anything like that. In combat, unless you're going to find yourself with like a total party kill, or equivalent, let the dice fall where they may. But there are times when you don't need to make characters roll. We had this situation in our game tonight, in fact. One character was in the basement of this particular building that we were scouring for goblins. We were heading down the stairs and he's like, can I hear them coming? Because he's like looking for notes and clues and stuff. And the GM made him roll, even though it was only like needing a 5 or more target number, which is, let's be face it, a D20 system, it's easy. He failed the roll actually, he didn't have anything in his perception, he rolled a 2. But something like that doesn't need a roll. Just say, yes, you can hear them coming down the stairs. You can hear their voices, you know it's your companion and so on. Likewise, if there are clues to be found and they're not, by the scenario or whatever, ridiculously hidden away, let them find it. You don't need to make a roll for things like that. If the clues are in the room and the players are saying, right, our characters will search the room, let them find the clues. Rolls should only be made when it's appropriate. I have seen games where the characters are just travelling across country from one town to another, and the GM will stop part way and want climb checks to get up a cliff. It's like, you don't need to do things like that. Just run with it, describe it, and get on with it. That would be my 5 tips to newbie GMs. I know a lot of that is probably covered more under like the D20 D&D style games, but it's the that would be my recommendations. So Samuel G, I hope that is helpful to you and helpful to other players and new GMs out there. Until next time, take care and good game.